Chester Bennington's son versus Linkin Park.
And Chester Bennington's son, Jaime Bennington. In this statement shared by TMZ, Bennington specifically takes issue with Mike Shinoda, writing, "Hey Mike, people aren't having a difficult time wrapping their head around the prospect of Linkin Park reinventing itself. They are having a hard time wrapping their head around how you, one, hired your friend of many years, Emily Armstrong, to replace Chester Bennington, knowing Emily's history in the church and her history as an ally to Danny Masterson is what it is."
So, do you guys believe that Mike had no clue about this? I personally can't see how they didn't do any kind of research on this woman before hiring her, right? Let me know your thoughts on that. Let's continue. Shout out to Rockfeed. Original video in the description. Let's go.
2. Quietly erase my father's life and legacy in real time, not only during a band interview meant to clear the air about certain aspects of Linkin Park's history and future, but during International Suicide Prevention Month. 3. Have refused to acknowledge the impact of hiring someone like Emily without so much as a clarifying statement on the variety of victims that make up your core fan base. No acknowledgement of the way you groom your fan base, Chester's kids or family, my falling out with your wife, who cannot be mentioned either, Danny Masterson's victims, or even Emily's alleged intimidation of those victims. And the list goes on and on and on. What you've done is not something for people to acclimate to. It's not a shock that people are just going to have to take time to process and understand. You have betrayed the trust loaned to you by decades of fans and supporting human beings, including myself. We trusted you to be the bigger, better person, to be the change, because you promised us that was your intention. Now you're just senile and tone deaf. Insane. At this point, I would wager that all you LP guys know is disrespect. You didn't trick me.
Look, it's 2024. I find it really hard to believe that the people over at Linkin Park, Mike and the boys, they had no clue about this. I mean, everything is everywhere on the internet, right? She did put an apology out there, but once again, everything's out there on the internet already. He's accused of all this craziness, and she still went over there, right? Did she not know? How could she not know? I don't know. Let me know how you feel about that. But we got so much more. Shout out to Rockfeed. I missed out on that portion off of Chester's son Jaime's feed on Instagram, which will be linked in the description. Of course, Rockfeed, all that. But we do have some new stuff of him speaking a lot about this being a whole cash grab, and also the whole thing with why he didn't even get invited to that concert from a couple of days ago. It's kind of odd that he wasn't invited. Did it have to do with some personal matters? He was lightly speaking about that in the beginning when we were reacting to that one clip. Let's check this out. Let's hit that like and let's go.
Hi guys, how's it going today? I appreciate all of your help. There have been over 50 people sending me screenshots of Mike Shinoda's very accessible tweets. It turns out that tweet about always having had the intention to get back with Linkin Park and etc. It's real. It's true. It's right there. You could go look at it. In fact, LP Live, our good friends at LP Live, they actually commented on that tweet in particular saying congratulations on the comeback. So we're going to post receipts.
Receipts are
what a dunce, bro. You're going to talk this way, you're going to do all these things, and then you're literally going to leave evidence of you lying straight to everyone's face on your Twitter.
But if they
insane
say you're lying, it's disrespectful.
But I'm disrespectful.
And you get blocked.
He got blocked.
Do want to acknowledge right now that I haven't heard anything back from band management. I haven't heard anything back from the band themselves. Which is not unexpected. They didn't come to me with this announcement. They didn't ask me how I felt. They didn't offer me a ticket. But I really want to go. There are reasons that I may not be allowed into the venue that I can't talk about right now. But unless I'm told explicitly you can't go for this reason, I do want to go. So if there's anybody who has changed their mind and maybe wants to get rid of their ticket or gift it, or maybe I can pay you for it,
money? I mean,
that would be wonderful. I do not want to pay the full $500. With that being said, there are a lot of people who do not like me. There are a lot of people saying some really awful shit right now to me. And to be honest, I don't think I'd feel safe going to the show under general admission just because I don't know who I'm around.
You shouldn't
I
have
don't know who would recognize me. I don't know who would take it upon themselves to respond to me in a aggressive manner.
Hold up. Why would he even have to go as general admission? His father is Chester Bennington. He should have been invited. He should be on the side of the stage, backstage. He should be treated like effing royalty, right? Or am I wrong? I mean, this makes no effing sense whatsoever. Why are people hating on him? I don't get that also. I do feel like I said a second ago, well, not a second ago, but like, he gotta be rich, right? Why doesn't he just buy like a ticket like for resale, like $500? Let's see, resale maybe $2,000, $3,000. That gotta be light. I mean, Chester Bennington gotta be worth a ton of money, right? Alexa, how much money is Chester Bennington worth?
Chester Bennington was worth an estimated $30 million US.
$30 million. He had to see some of it, or did something happen where he wasn't getting any money after his father passed away? Rest in peace to Chester, for real. You know, love Chester Bennington, man. One of my favorites of all times, I'm a little confused though about all that. Let's continue. Let's go.
When I'm just trying to be there to like see the show, but I do need to see it, and so I need to, you know, bring up the problem around the tickets, bring up the ambiguity about whether or not I'm allowed to even be in the venue for very specific reasons. And I also have to acknowledge that the audience themselves could actually be unsafe for me. But with that being said, I do want to go see the show. I hope the band responds and gives us better seats. If not, I would like to join you all. For all of you out there who are like, well, why don't you go buy your own fucking ticket? Why don't you shush? The band, in my opinion, should have offered me a ticket. The band.
Okay, so it's principle. Okay, that makes sense. They should have offered him a ticket. If he's at the point where he's asking now for help, you know, does anyone have a ticket to buy? Just go ahead and go on one of them sites and just handle that, man. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to come off as I'm like a hater if he's watching this, because I've got nothing to hate on dude for. If anything, I got love for him already just because of his dad, you know what I mean? But I think that's his best bet, man. Forget about all that. You want to put some like actual information talking about Linkin Park and Mike and how they're being fouled, that's one thing, but I don't think this is necessary for him to go here with it. Let's continue.
And not just my opinion, but in fact, has been ignoring me. Mike Shinoda was literally stalking my page up until the time that I reported on Kyle Christner, and then he disappeared. So, and then he restricted my ability to interact with him.
Yikes.
So,
He's also known what we've been going through.
Oh, yeah.
For the situation because he knew he was about to profit.
yeah, he's known for a long time the suffering that we've endured, and he's
Sad.
chosen to be completely silent about it.
That's right.
I will be today reaching out to the last people that I could possibly reach out to for tickets. Like I said, I've reached out to Ryan DeMarty, Bill Silva, Mike Shinoda, Linkin Park, the band itself.
So
Now I will be reaching out to Brad Delson again. We'll see if he ignores me again. I'm going to reach out to Dave. I'm going to reach out to Joe. And I'm going to give them the same message that I gave the other guys. And I'm going to see if we can get something going on here, because that would be ideal. But if it doesn't work out, then you all saw me try, and that's what it is. A wonderful little thought experiment entered my mind. I went to the Kia Forum venue website. I took an average of the number of available seats, which came out to 17,505 seats. And I multiplied each one of those seats as if by the base rate of $250 a ticket.
that's a lot of money.
Assuming that they are going to sell out this concert, Linkin Park will make over $5 million off of this show. Just one arena show.
It's crazy.
And tickets are selling. So at the very least, they're making $1 million, $2 million, $3 million off of this. At the most, they're making more than $5 million off of this. One concert. Now, take that base rate and apply it to every other arena that they'll be playing across the planet before the album drops from Zero on November 15th.
You know they're going to have a tour after, too, probably.
At the minimum, they're making $1 million a show. Realistically, they're making $2 to $3 million a show. This doesn't even account for currency conversion or inflation.
And this guy can't get a ticket.
Economic context really at all across the planet.
His family's going to cut.
Be changes.
Right? Or
there
no?
will be different amounts being made at each show depending on where they're at.
He is going to cut
But
her family. Someone.
Now take that, $2 to $3 million a show for each one of these shows. By the time that they come back on the 11th and play their last show, 4 days before they drop their actual album, they will have cashed the fuck out.
Facts.
And then they're going to go on tour again. Like, I'm not trying to be here up on everything all the time and, being aggressive or whatever it is that people think that I'm doing who don't understand.
Do you guys think
I'm doing math. I'm just taking basic information and projecting into it. This is not just a reunion tour. This is not just in promotion of the new album. This is bank.
Facts.
Okay? This isn't small money. This isn't just a little band going out. What did Mike say? What did they all say in the Zane Lowe interview? Solo acts and new bands, independent artists don't make it. It would be stupid to call ourselves anything else. We could be making $20, $30 million off of a 6-show tour. Or more than that, depending on who the investors are. And then we can drop an album and go tour again. This is not about a reunion. This is not about a reinvention. And that's not including your participation in buying the record, streaming the record, the single that's come out. It has nothing to do with what merch has yet to be sold. That does not include the vinyl. That does not include anything they decide to do in the middle, right? Because every time they do a Linkin Park album, they always do the LPU rarity. They bring it out every time. You'll get LPU 16 with new songs, live edition, or whatever the fuck they want to do. So you have to include not only the amount of money that they're making on tour to your calculation, you also have to account for the purpose of this tour being solely to get people hooked on buying the album, streaming the album, buying the merch, dedicating their lives to the art.
Remind the soldiers who they're aligned with.
Yeah, remind the soldiers who they're in line with, right? It's crazy. It's like a radicalization of some sort.
It's like right when you started talking about Chester dying, a weird circumstance.
Yeah, it's like right when I came out to talk about my dad and some of the stuff that I've been talking about, they immediately came back. I mean, guys, it hasn't even been a year. It's not October yet. I came out in October. It's been less than 12 months. It was, they called Emily in January, apparently, and they finished the album in 8 months. And by the way, them saying we just threw the arena shows together. Impossible.
Yeah,
impossible. You have to be able to schedule that shit out. You have to do that far in advance because you're not the only artist in the room. So you planned all this out, made it look like you couldn't have possibly done it or tried to, and you're just going to run with that narrative.
But it was only 6 shows, so it's only 6 shows, but still, you've got to book these venues. These are enormous venues. This is something that took a while to do. You can't just do that overnight, I don't think you can. I may be wrong, but let me know your thoughts on all that. Let's continue. Yeah.
What?
After Chester died.
Literally. Mike's over here saying, it was never a thought in my mind to actually get back with Linkin Park, but here he is on his own Twitter saying that since as early as 2018, he's had every intention to go back with Linkin Park.
He just needs to know he has a good enough fan base. And
yeah.
We say the vinyls work.
It was a time problem.
Out the waters and reminding people how much they love LP and to make sure that people are still willing to give their money and time and soul to them.
Guys, they use the Hybrid Theory box set to get all the old heads in. They used the Meteora box set to get the new kids in, or the middle generation. They released a Lost single. How much traction did that get? 372% total net increase
Wow.
in profit for the band. Meteora box set.
Even worse, I just watched the
Yeah.
Meteora box set Zane Lowe interview, and they were just talking about how, oh, we have all these videos showing you what we were doing, how we were going, thinking about, like, you're over here being like, hey, I just want some, like, pictures of my dad, if you guys have any, and they're like, yeah, so we got this box set out if you want to buy it. It was like,
Yeah,
why
I didn't
you
get a
send
box set.
Why
I was never
wouldn't you
offered.
Send all these videos to the kids,
Was it
being like,
awful?
hey, this was your dad. These were the experiences we had. This is what I'm saying is, like, the way that they interact and don't interact is so telling. They want you to buy the box set in order to see videos of your dad going around.
Guys, I wasn't offered anything.
That's
I wasn't made
fine.
aware of anything. Nobody told me Linkin Park was coming back. Nobody asked me how I felt. Nobody offered me box sets. Nobody offered to have me in the conversation. They didn't want to show me the videos of my father. They wanted me to go on the YouTube playlist for LPTV and figure it out.
And you should just know.
And I should just
and
know
you
better.
were literally investigating your dad. Like, we didn't know a lot of these things were happening. It was people who were, like, fans that would tell us, like, oh, did you see this happen? We're like, what? That
No
was
idea.
what?
Thank you for sharing.
So if what Jaime is saying is really true, this is insane. Like, for him to even have to buy the box set is crazy. For him to not be invited to these concerts is crazy. He should be invited to every show. They should fly his ass out to every show. His dad is Chester Bennington. It's out of pocket if this is true. There's always two sides to every story. We got to keep that in mind. Maybe there's something that happened with Jaime and the band, and, maybe Jaime was out of pocket. We never know what the problem is. I mean, why would they just, almost disown him? It just doesn't make any sense, right? It makes no sense. Is this a cash grab? I believe so. Let's be effing real. Did they not know anything about Emily? 2024, as I was saying, man, everything's online. They are a household name. How could they not have done this type of research, Regardless, it's really something terrible, and it's beginning to really tarnish the name Linkin effing Park. By the way, these are extremely rare Jay-Z Reebok Linkin Park sneakers, which, from my understanding, they were gonna release this, but they couldn't come to an agreement, so they destroyed all the pairs. Supposedly, they were all supposed to be destroyed. This one has not been. And this may be the only pair ever. If you have any more information on this story with this shoe, please contact me at hiredjdelz on Instagram. But all in all, man, they should have changed the name. I think that them coming back out as Linkin Park really was not a wise choice, especially now. And they should have named it Zero. That would have been fresh, but they didn't. And now, honestly, a lot of people are not feeling this. There's people that still are, but I'm not. And even when I seen that concert, it just didn't feel right. The new song, love the new song, no, I'm not going to lie. One thing that's strange is I have an Alexa device, right, that's connected to Amazon Music. I ask my device to play the new Linkin Park song. It'll play it in its entirety, and then it'll continue on playing more Linkin Park classics. But it's playing it without Chester's vocals. It's only playing the instrumentals. And I'm not talking maybe one song, two songs. I'm talking we're 7 songs in, and it's just playing the instrumentals without Chester on the effing songs. Why is it doing that? It's really strange. There's so much weird activity going on, and I'm not feeling it at all, man. Huge fan of Chester Bennington, man. His vocals were so powerful. The music was so amazing. And a big part of it, of course, is not only Chester, but the band, but the voice, him. He delivered, man. He's the front man of that band, bro, and we love him. And now seeing where we are now, it makes me sick. I'm going to be honest with you. It makes me sick as a fan. Let me know how you feeling. Leave it in the comments. I'm not telling people not to support this new project. I'm not telling people not to, go on to the concerts that they're having, which are so overpriced. It's insane. These artists are worth so much money, and you charging so much money for kids to go see them live and adults. I remember when I was a kid, it was affordable to buy tickets. I've seen Metallica, Rage Against the Machines live, all of these bands live, Pearl Jam back in the days. We weren't paying $250 for some crappy seats. Like, think about the kids, for all you artists that are watching, man. That's a shame. There's so many of your fans that can't even go to the concert. I remember back in the day, it really didn't have to do with the money. It had to do with if you were the first ones to get the tickets, you know? And that's just whack. But there's also the scalpers now, and that's a whole nother story. But let me get up out of here. Subscribe, like, comment, join the membership. We got the super thanks if you want to show that extra love. And I'm going to put information on everyone in the description, including myself. Leave your thoughts. And also, don't forget, leave in the comments if you're a lifer. You know what to leave. Peace and love. Rest in peace, Chester Bennington, man. Yeah.